Good afternoon, John here, North Bay AVS. Wanted to go over an incident that happened with a competitor. We're going to call them XYZ slash Tiger King. No offense towards the real guy. That's just the in-house name we call this guy's company. So about a month and a half ago, I got a call from one of our property managers. This is about a property that needed its annual, and he said it needs some repairs. I don't want to send XYZ company slash Tiger King out there again. They want like $4,000 to replace it. They're saying there's a bunch of stuff wrong with the panel. And I say, okay, well, let me have my tech get eyes on it. I'm not going to charge you to just get eyes on it. We can tell you what you really need, and then we can give you a proposal, and we'll do it. So we go out there, and my tech's like, like, what's supposed to be wrong with this panel? I said, his write-up says like scorch marks and like the panel's not functioning right. And he goes, it's perfectly normal. Green light's working perfectly. I said, so what's needed out there, if anything? He goes, it needs its annual. It'll be due in a month. And it also needs a new enclosure. It's a panel within a panel. Like, they replaced the old panel with a new panel, and it was smaller, so they just put it on the inside. Not the best thing to do because it confuses people with keys too, and then sometimes you have two doors to open, but you can do it in a pinch. So we go ahead and we schedule a time. Our tech comes out there, puts a new enclosure up, does that portion of it, and says, okay, I'd like to do the annual. Can you have the property manager notify all the tenants? I said, absolutely. When you, when we schedule it, and our guys go out there and we do 100% annual. So now this tech has now seen this panel working fine for about 3 weeks, okay? So now the property manager is out there, the property owner's out there, and my two techs are out there. They test this thing. It takes about an hour and a half. Everybody sees the panel functioning perfectly fine. And we put it to bed. Think, hey, another win for us, and we move on. About 3 weeks ago, I get a call from the fire department, and the fire inspector's like, hey, why did you pass that panel? It's in trouble. And I said, well, it wasn't. I would never pass a panel that's in trouble. You guys know us better than that. And he goes, huh. And I said, just out of curiosity, why did you inspect that panel? It wasn't due for like till the end of the month, next month. And he says, we got an anonymous tip. We got an email and a phone call on this. I said, huh, that's interesting. I'm like, was it XYZ Tiger King slash the XYZ company? And he goes, no. And in the way he says it, he's basically owning it. And I go, so what did they say? They said that their tech went out on site and he inspected the panel and wanted to let us know it was in trouble with the current tag on it. And I said, so they admitted to going out there and opening the panel. So where this gets interesting is now that they were fired from this project by then. We had already taken over. We'd already tested, and we'd already put in a new enclosure. So now their technician was trespassing, and they admitted to it. So there's that portion of it. And I said, and I asked the fire inspector, I said, hey, so it's genuinely in trouble? And he says, yes. So I send my techs out there, and this is what we find. See these watermarks right here on the circuit board? Of course it's going to be in trouble. So, and I asked my guys, hey, is there any way that could have gotten wet? And they said, no. It was in that really good enclosure we used. It was in a carport. In that enclosure that we use, you could spray it with a hose. The water's not getting in. So now they've basically admitted, without admitting, that they sabotaged the panel. And I think the reason why they did this is we inherit a lot of business from them. I have an Excel spreadsheet with hundreds of accounts, and I'm not joking when I say hundreds. And what they're doing is I don't go after this. I'm too busy to go after their work. I don't concentrate on that sort of stuff. I concentrate on our existing customers and our projects that we have. So, and like I was saying, we inherit so much work. Well, what happens is they send these people these astronomical charges. It's a minimum two guys, minimum 2 hours, and it's like $250, $300 an hour. And then they have office surcharges. It's an administrative fee. That's what they call it. And how do I know all this? I see it from the property managers. They all show me what they're getting, and they're like, how come, like, are they doing something that you guys aren't? Why they're so much more expensive? I said, no. I mean, testing a fire panel is pretty basic. And so, like I said, we inherit a lot of work from them that way. But it's also by reputation of them doing things like this. The word gets around. It's a small town. Anyways, so now they're in trouble with the fire department. I don't know where they're going to go with it. I don't really care. But it's just a shame that because we took over an account, they sabotaged it. I mean, at least in my mind, they did. I don't know for sure. I can't prove it. Maybe something happened. I can't say a tenant didn't do it, but I just think it's really, really, really low. So on that note, I will leave you with kind of a fun video. We used to, back when we were a really big AV company, we used to have a lot of fun. I'm going to make some videos about that, from just pranks on each other to breaking old equipment, throwing it off the roof, things like that. We literally did that. There are videos of us. So I'll leave you with a fun video. I started this thing called the Plasma Burnout. It's one of my first videos I ever loaded, like back in 07. And you can see me do a burnout on a TV, and it shoots it out. Well, my two boys and I were at our yard that's in an undisclosed location near Area 51, and we are doing a burnout with it. So I'll leave you with that video. Thanks a lot.
Go.